All right, this is going to be gymnastics skills test number 3, or gymnastics warm-up number 3, whatever we want to kind of name it on the site, but it's going to be a couple movements. You're going to do 5 reps of each and kind of maybe move through this a few times. First one is going to be a frog support. That's what we're going to call it. We don't have, couldn't really find a good name for it online, but you basically put your hands on the ground and you're looking to get to the position that looks like such. So your feet are off the ground and you're holding yourself up, kind of that yoga looking position. Ideally, people who are more virtuous are going to have a straight elbow as they do this. People who are kind of muscle and stuff will have a bent elbow. It also depends on body dimensions. What we're looking to do basically though is plant your hands, lean forward with your leg right in line, your elbow and your knee are kind of right in line with each other, and you're leaning on your own body to support yourself, to find balance. Hence the yogic background. But as we lean forward, the bend comes from the wrist, and the further we go, the more we can just kind of lift our feet up off the ground, and it'll hold us there. So that's the frog hold. We're gonna do 5 of those. Then what we're gonna do is 5 headstand attempts, okay? Now you can either go from that position into a headstand, but you're probably gonna bonk your head on the ground, especially the first time you're doing this. Or you can do an ab mat out. Start by putting your head on the ab mat, and then getting here, getting that same position. So you've got your elbows on your knees, and then what we'll do is we'll kick ourselves up and hold ourselves in a headstand. What we're looking for from the body in this is like a bit of a triangle. That's the main teaching point, is you don't want your hands in line with your head. You want your head slightly in front of your hands. It provides like a bit of a tripod, so that way we can support ourselves. People are going to be at totally different levels in this, whether they're just practicing putting their head on the ground and trying to take their feet off the ground, whether they're kicking up into a headstand, whatever it may be. If it's their first time, I suggest having them do it close to a wall, so that way if they fall, bam, right into the wall, and they don't go too far or roll out of it. If nothing else, teach them how to tuck their chin and roll out of this movement. The next part of this is a skin the cat. So we're going from hanging on the set of rings or with our feet on the ground, up and over to the other side, and then back up and through. Now ideally this is done from rings that are hanging super high, and you can kind of do it all with your strength of your upper body and the strength of your midline, but for a lot of us, they're gonna have our feet on the ground. You just wanna make sure that when you transfer over, you don't knock your head on the ground. So what we're looking to have most people do is they're gonna be having their hands here, they're gonna be holding onto a set of rings, they're gonna pull these rings in. The higher you can kind of hold yourself up, the easier that rotation is going to be for a lot of us as they kick their way through. Some of us, we're just going to have straight arms. And if you are on higher rings, if you have straighter arms, that's going to be a little bit more ideal. It's going to be more pure in terms of the movement. But what we're looking to do is we're going to get ourselves from under the rings, roll through. If you have to hick off the ground, you can. Put your feet down on this side, and then kind of get your way back through. Ideally, you're not using your feet. Ideally, your arms are staying straight the entire time. But whatever we're really looking to do is we're looking to get upside down, go all the way through, and come on back through. Now, a lot of clients will, if they can hang themselves on the rings, that's the first test, if they can hold and hang from a set of rings. Something that they can do on these lower rings, if they're close, is they can try to get one foot up, and I know it's sloppy, but you'd be surprised at how excited someone can get when they get their first skin the cat. So toss that over. One thing to be aware of, make sure if there's any sort of tension in the bicep as you're pulling yourself through, you gotta let go. I've seen a couple bicep tendons pop doing this, so do your very best. If you're doing a skin the cat, you start to feel something get tense here, let go, and brief that to your members. Cool, that's a skin the cat. The last part of this is ice cream makers. Taz is gonna ideally give you a better video for this, but I'm gonna try to do my best to try one here. The idea is that these are hanging from the ceiling. You're going to be hanging as well. So I would be nowhere near the ground in an ideal world, but you're going to be holding here, and then you'll straighten back. Whoop! So you'll lean back. Whew. I'm going to whack my head on the wall if I do it. So don't pay attention to this video. Taz will link to a good video, but basically what it is you lean back, straighten your arms, you end up holding in a kind of front lever, and then you come back up to holding at your chest. So it's front lever, chest, front lever, chest. So it's a pretty dirty movement. People can do it sometimes where they go front lever and then pull themselves all the way up to upside down. That's an advanced version of this. If nothing else, see if people can push away and then pull themselves back to the rings while trying to lift their feet up a bit. So it ends up looking like if they had 2 rings here, there, back, there, back, okay? Straighter the body, the better. It's an ice cream maker. That is our gymnastics warm-up number 3.